Howdy friends, Russell here, coming to you from the shop once again. As you can see from our little time-lapse lead up to this video, we've prepared this side of the shop as a makeshift paint booth. In some of my previous videos we've talked about that, you know, 3 years in and we're ready to get the Jeep painted. Unfortunately, none of my painters, three of them, are able to get to it in a timely fashion. So you know what, we're just going to do it ourselves. So in this video, I'm just kind of pick the camera up and walk around, show you how we've prepped it. Now, you know, we talked before about using the rust bullet. In the previous video I've showed, talked a little bit about that rust bullet product, and this whole Jeep has been primered with that rust bullet. So at this point, what we've done is scuff sanded it in preparation for a high build primer. And so I'm going to pick the camera up, walk around, and show you some of the metal repair we had to do, and then you know, we'll go along with it as we go. As we shoot the primer, we'll come back and talk about that, and as we shoot the paint. I'm not actually going to show film of shooting the primer and paint because I really don't want my camera inside my paint booth getting covered with paint as we go. So anyway, let me pick the camera up and I'll show you the metal repairs we made. So anyway, here we are. It's, like I said before, it's an 86. This vehicle was in really good shape when we bought it. There was only a couple of small areas that needed to be repaired. One of them was this area right here. There's a little rust blow through. And when I show some of the stuff on the other side, I'll explain how we ended up with this mess. We, you know, patched that up, welded it up, cleaned up everything inside there. There's actually a big cavity, and we prepped the whole inside with the rust bullet. We had another small spot right here, and actually that was man-made. I had to cut that open to get access to the capture nut for the body to frame mount bolts, and then of course welded a panel. So I've got to put some body filler on that, and I don't know, you can see that ripple line there. We're going to have to smooth that out, and we've got the same thing on the other side. So I am going to have to put a little polyester body filler on here. And this spot right here, you can see same thing. We had to cut out, weld in new metal. That whole patch goes into the floorboard, as well as replace the lower portion of that support piece right there. It was all completely blown out. Now, what caused that? What caused it was the first several owners of this Jeep never took the floor plugs out, and that's death to sheet metal in a Jeep, is not removing the floor plugs. And as you can see over here, we've got the hood, same thing. It's coated with the rust bullet and been blocked out with 180 grit and scuff sanded, ready for primer and paint, as well as our reproduction windshield frame. And there sits the tailgate ready to go. So I'm going to stop the video for now. The next time we come on, we'll have the body filler done, and we'll be scuffing it for. We'll be blocking out, scuffing, and prepping for primer. So that's it for now. We'll come back and add on as we go. All right, as you can see, we're running a little time lapse. I kind of finished up putting the body filler on. I said before we were going to make one long video of the whole paint thing. I think we're going to end this shortly after this and just call this paint prep, and then maybe we'll actually do some video shooting the actual primer and paint. But as you can see, there's some of the areas that I put the body filler on, obviously where we had the damage that we've welded up before, as well as some imperfections in the panels. Normally for a Jeep, I wouldn't consider doing this because you're going to beat them up, but the paint color I'm looking at, the 1 and 2, are very brilliant, deep blue metallics, and so it's going to show every little imperfection in the panels. Now, you did notice I didn't put any body filler on the hood at all. With Jeep CJs, YJs, and TJs, the hood is so flexible. The fear is if you put body filler on the hood itself, and then when you open the hood up and down, it flexes and it'll end up peeling and cracking. Now I'm going to come back around to the other side. Of course, on this side you can see we put the filler at the same spot that we had the damage, where the ripple line was, and some other imperfections, as well as the damage back here. You also saw all these little spots. The original CJ-7s had the soft top had snaps here, and we're not putting that type of soft top on, so I just filled those little pinholes in each one, and we'll sand this all smooth. That's going to be it for now on this video. On the next edition, we'll have this all blocked out and sanded, and I'll show kind of a little bit of how we did that on the next video. But the next video we'll be shooting primer and paint, so if you like this content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you know future content coming up, and there's more to follow.